Welcome to Coco Unapologetic and Raw. Coco Unapologetic and Raw represents a lifestyle, a journey with no end. It's a way to live in constant reflection, always thriving to be a better version of ourselves, living authentically despite public opinion. So we are in month 3 of the year and are laying the foundation to help us be successful in our goal smasher status. As you recall, we started the year with addressing our scapegoats and moved on to addressing our heartbreak fitness, to working for a full month on loving ourselves. After focusing on putting work into smash our fitness goals by working from the inside out, I believe it's time that we start looking to the people that surround us. It's time to focus on our tribe. Tribe. Now that's a word that has become super trendy lately, but do we really know what it actually means? Do we know what a tribe represents? What do we know about what each individual in a tribe is supposed to do, or contribute for that matter? Because the reality is that although I would love to say that I reached the first phase of my fitness goals alone, I didn't. I had to learn through trial and error. Those trials and errors did not only encompass diet and exercise, but also relationships. I had to learn to establish healthy relationships with like-minded people if I wanted to really succeed. So after careful reflection, I have come to learn that based on my own personal experience, all tribes must have at least one of each of these 4 types of people, which I will name after my good friends. The Arlette and the Bubble. I met Arlette when I was at my heaviest, weighing a whooping 400 pounds, trying to finish my bachelor's degree in college and living miserably in secret. Arlette exuded confidence, beauty, and was the first person that I had ever heard talking about muscle gains. She was always quite reserved and kept to herself, but once we hit it off, I fell in love with Arlette. I recall that on one particular occasion, I was suffering from one heartbreak fitness, when Arlette brought the concept of the bubble. You see, being 400 pounds caused me to become a people pleaser. I would allow people to pretty much abuse me and take advantage of me, because I felt that I was unworthy of people's friendships. So I would overcompensate by working overtime to please my friends at work, to participating in every single activity I could think of at church so that people would like me. And pretty much I would spread myself thin and give the world everything that I had and reserve nothing for myself, not even a 30-minute walk. On one particular occasion, I had been badly bruised by a friendship that had betrayed me in one of the worst ways possible. By this point, Arlette had seen it all and was frustrated with me and introduced me to the concept of creating a bubble to protect myself from further hurt. She taught me that it was time for me to create an imaginary bubble that would surround me, in which I had the power to decide, based on people's actions, who was worthy of coming inside my bubble. Up to this point, I thought the concept was ridiculous. I mean, worthy. Worthy was such a far-fetched word for me because I myself felt worthless at the time. If anything, I thought people were doing me a favor by talking to me and becoming my friends. But Arlette didn't see it that way. To her, I was beautiful on the inside and allowed too many people to take advantage. So, as against the concept as I was, I allowed her to model what it was to create a bubble. At first, I thought maybe creating a bubble meant that I had to cut everyone off, but it was actually quite the opposite. I could still be friends with the world, but I learned through my dear friend to be careful and mindful and proceed with caution when it came time to share my deepest, darkest secrets. Because, as I had come to learn and experience, people could be quite awful. Do I still practice the bubble concept today? Absolutely. And it has continuously been a trial and error situation. I'd be lying if I said that since establishing my bubble, I haven't been burned, because the truth of the matter is people are people and I have been burned. However, my bubble is a work in progress, and although people may still let me down here and there, I don't get to let myself down by exposing everything and putting it all out there in a way that can be detrimental to my journey. How many people are in my bubble today? Quite a few. But I have learned to get to know people by observing them and carefully studying their behavior to see if their words match their actions before I completely confide in them. Do I have people outside my bubble? Hundreds, and I consider them all my friends, but when it comes to matters of my heart, I only have a handful of people that I confide in and go to seek guidance. I have come to the realization that we all need an Arlette, a true friend with our best interest in her heart, one that will protect us when we are exposing too much. The Viv, the nurturing disciplinarian. I met Viv through church. Not only did her natural beauty amaze me, but her heart for God and people. Vivians are great listeners. They can listen to you for hours at a time and not say a word. Vivians are consistent and mature in every sense of the word. A Viv has lived a little longer than you and truly walks her talk, always being unapologetic, yet gentle in every sense of the word. If I could pick a woman to be in the world, I would pick a Viv. I think that knowing her has been a gift within itself. With that said, there's a catch to having a Viv in your tribe. A Viv will listen, observe, and be one of the best confidants that you can imagine. However, when it's her time to speak, you better be ready to listen and be held accountable. There are no victims with the Viv. You cannot come to the Viv and not own it 100%. You cannot come to the Viv and lie, for Viv has been carefully listening to your every single word and will call you out faster than you can finish that last lying sentence. I'll never forget the day that I came to the Viv crying in sorrow because of my heartbreak fitness. After listening to me for what it seemed like half a day, she stopped me and held my hand, looked at me right in the eyes and reminded me how much she truly loved me, and then spoke my truths. Truths that I didn't want to listen. Truths that made me hate her for a nanosecond. Truths that were a sole reflection of my deficits. Truths that maybe I had been playing the victim for way too long, and it was time to woman up and be held accountable for my actions in this mess. I have learned that we all need a Viv in our life, someone who will be there to listen, yet when it's time for them to speak, they will speak and not hold back or be afraid of hurting our feelings. We all need a Viv in our life to whip our little butts or big butts when it's necessary and be okay if we decide not to talk to them for some time, because they are confident enough in the friendship to know that we will come around once we realize that they have our best interest in their heart. Hattie, the fighter. Hattie was my room partner and good friend. Hattie is a ride or die kind of chick. I'll never forget the day that I arrived to work, heartbroken and with a broken spirit. I had just discovered some awful news. It was Hattie that wanted to go and fight the world for my heartbreak. She took such good care of me for so many months and truly protected me in every way that I can remember. Many of you know me as a strong Coco, but 6 years ago, I had no fight left in me. Actually, I didn't have much. Hattie fought my battles. I believe that we all need a Hattie in our lives. A Hattie that goes at bat when we're just too exhausted and can't find it in us to go one more inning. We all need a Hattie that is willing to fight for us, yet won't if we ask them not to. We all need a Hattie that will respect our decisions and not judge us. Abby, the uplifter. When I met Abby, I had reached my weight loss goals. Abby had no idea that I had lost as much weight as I had. However, she was quick to observe that something wasn't right with me. When I met Abby, I had been badly burned and betrayed by some females in my life. I still had my bubble. However, I had created and established some very thick walls surrounding it so that nobody would be able to get in. My self-esteem was low, and I was probably at the lowest point in my relationship with my man, and I just honestly hated myself. It didn't take long for little Abby to win me over with her persistent heart. Her beauty was something remarkable. Her love for others amazed me, and her kind heart and ever uplifting and encouraging words saved my life. One day, I recall that my burden was just too heavy. I had been struggling trying to keep a front that everything was okay, but it was just too much. I'll never forget how my dear friend came to see me and kept encouraging me to share my burden. I did, and I'll never forget her face or her words. Just as I finished my last sentence, she hugged me and fed me, retouched my makeup, and told me that she didn't judge me one bit and that it was time to start working on loving myself. Every day with Abby is a day that I am told how beautiful I am. There's nothing superficial about Abby's accolades, for they are very specific and are never repetitive. I truly believe that we all need an Abby in our tribe, for an Abby is non-judgmental and exudes so much confidence that it can only be contagious. When I used to be embarrassed by my excess skin, Abby was always there to help me manage my thoughts and assist me in focusing on my physical attributes. I had never witnessed an Abby before. I was used to females putting other females down, or females becoming threatened when another attractive female came by. not Abby. This woman is so confident in herself that she makes it a mission to uplift other females and empower them to feel beautiful. Now let me go back to the word tribe. If we were to go back to Paleolithic times, archaeologists and historians have used words like self-sufficient, clan, and stable to define the word tribe. In other words, a tribe was formed by a consistent group of self-sufficient people belonging to a group. Do you see where I'm going with this? If we were to build our tribe or reevaluate our current tribe, it's important to consider how stable it's been over the years. How consistent has the support been over the trajectory of our journey? And most importantly, how self-sufficient are the people in our tribe? When one does better than the other, does anyone feel threatened? Is it filled with resentment or bitterness? Are people being celebrated for their success? I'm happy to say that today I'm still working on my tribe, but there are 4 members who are non-negotiables. And as I look to grow my friendships and my tribe and establish those strong relationships with those people that I have met in recent months, I make sure that they truly meet the definition of what a tribe is supposed to be. My success has not only been based on my diet and exercise routine, but also it's been based on having those people, those strong women, those godly women that root for me, check in on me, and continuously push me when I'm struggling. Women who are not threatened by my success, and I'm not threatened by theirs either, because we are all self-sufficient tribe members and have enough confidence to know that we are not competing with each other, but that are stronger together and will smash our goals by uplifting each other. Thank you for tuning into Coco Unapologetic and Raw, Woman Empowerment Edition. Till next time, my beautiful ladies.